Front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize podcast where we talk comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpit,
representing the real cloth costume competition, the Vacuuminator is here. And yes, I finally opened it. I finally opened Mezco's Superman after having it for 4 months, and he's a tall drink of water. Let me tell you.
You enjoying your doll?
Yes, I'm enjoying my doll.
I'm kidding. There's nothing wrong with it.
I know. I'm playing along. We have fun here.
We have fun here.
We're a fun time show. Aren't you having fun, everybody? If you're having fun, you better engage with the algorithm because you're having fun.
Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe.
Type in the chat if you're watching live.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
It's appreciated.
Yeah, it is. Hey, guess what?
What?
Are you ready to do the same thing we do every Sunday?
Yeah!
Which is talk about a television show, then talk about news, and then talk about comics.
Oh boy, you know I am.
Hey, guess what?
Avengers?
Avengers! It's time to annihilate your senses. It's Attack on 42?
Assault on 42, because it's a reference to that movie, Assault on Precinct 76 or something.
There's
like
a lot
that.
of references in this episode.
I ain't fucking seen it.
There's a lot of references in this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it fucking starts with, hey, look, it's the Wasp's only notable villain. He's barely gonna be in this episode, but here he is. He exists in this universe.
Wow, we got a lot of fucking whirlwind this week.
Yeah, because he shows up in a comic this week too,
for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and I like Whirlwind. I like seeing him and stuff.
He's a good design.
Yeah, he's a good design. He's a fun action figure, and he's a really good villain for a female character because he's literally a stalker.
So everybody, have you seen Alien? Because that's what this episode is.
Have you seen any classic Doctor Who?
Oh boy, this is just pure sci-fi B-schlock kind of stuff. But that's what the Avengers is good at. That's what Marvel is good at. It's just like, here's these characters. Let's just throw them in a cheap, cheesy B movie.
And I mean, if you know anything about Marvel, you know what's happening the moment it starts happening.
And you hear the negative zone. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this ain't gonna go well. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. And it's done really well.
Yeah. I love this Annihilus design. It's probably one of my favorite looks for Annihilus I've ever seen.
It's very bug-like, but it's also very otherworldly because it's like bat wings and bug and that's all.
And he looks a bit like a robot. Too many Annihilus designs either go too hard in the bug direction or too hard in the robot direction. This one is right in the middle, and I like that.
It needs to look like gills.
Yes.
For people who are unaware, Gills is a common writer who I think genuinely should be a point of reference if you ever do a live action Annihilus.
Yeah.
Especially when he's yelling.
I'm watching the show that boy's from right now, and he's great.
But yeah, no, they're dealing with the Prison 42 that's in the negative zone, and Annihilus starts attacking it.
Because, hey, you built a house on my lawn. What the fuck?
And so the Avengers that are there, which is Captain America, Wasp, Carol Danvers, and Thor, basically are now in Alien and go like, oh shit, what do we do?
He took out all the SHIELD agents. What do? We need cannon fodder.
Was still around.
Yeah, Quartermain, but he's the only one that's like still conscious the entire time.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're like, I guess we have to work with some supervillains, and that allows for some fun character stuff. You know, we get to see Marvel be an absolute simp. We get to see Cap not trust Zemo at all, and we get to see a little bit of fun banter between Wasp and Whirlwind. It's all peachy keen.
Yeah, and there's some cute moments too. It's like the ice villain. I can't remember what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, the only one of them that's like not a well-known villain that I recognized is Mandrill, and that's just because he was in an early episode and we made a point of talking about him.
Yeah. The ice guy's like, oh fuck, I am way over my head, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's the game
And
over guy.
yeah, and Four's hanging out with Executioner, and he's like, "Yo, Surtur's fucking made Amora his bitch, but if you help us when I eventually have to fight her and capture her, I'll make sure you see her again." And Executioner is just like, "You don't know shit, Odinson, but whatever."
I mean, there's a level of respect there.
Mm-hmm.
There, you can see it. It's just like, all right, what you're trying. You're okay.
Yeah,
You're
and
not.
then
You're not the.
Radioactive Man and Absorbing Man are also there.
Yeah, they have a fun moment.
Yeah, it's a lot of just like fun little moments. It's not a really like it's not as write offable as last week's episode, but it's also like not super deep, you know? It's
Right.
just like this is a good one to put on at random sometime.
See, that's the thing. Last week's episode could have taken place in any superhero universe.
Mm-hmm.
This one could have only taken place in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because I
other than
mean
the alien aspect, it's just like no, it's a nihilist, it's the negative zone, and
Mhm.
it's Marvel's unique relationship with villains,
Yeah.
where it's like they're just a bunch of mooks that just want fucking cash.
I mean, you could do this.
You could do it with the rogues.
I could see you doing this in a specific DC universe where they build an actual prison in the Phantom Zone and the rogues get in there. The Flash's rogues get put in there.
Yeah.
But like that's never going to happen in the regular DC universe because the Phantom Zone doesn't have any like kind of weird Moombus Boombus beings living in it, and Superman literally just tosses dudes in there. He doesn't fucking moderate that shit at all.
Not my problem.
Yep.
Superman, more like Yeet Man.
Yeah. It's like that's why people are saying more and more these days. Batman should really just have Superman yeet the Joker in there.
Yeah. Though that's a whole different conversation of morality and philosophy of DC Comics and heroism in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. This is just a good fun episode with
It's a good fun
some
episode.
action figures smashing into each other.
Yeah.
And really, like we like to talk about how, or like it's a common idea in comics fandom that Marvel is the more like deep and characterful and real feeling of the two big comic superhero companies. But like a lot of Marvel stories are kind of just smashing action figures together, and that's fine because smashing action figures together is fun.
And I think the thing is Marvel writers tend to like smash action figures together and then go like, all right, so how do they feel about being smashed together?
Exactly.
Like, oh man, let's just smash Spider-Man and Wolverine together. Okay, how does Spider-Man feel that he accidentally killed Wolverine's girlfriend who was trying to commit suicide by Spider-Man? Oh, he's kind of fucked up by that. How does Wolverine feel? He thinks Spider-Man's a bitch. You know? Like, you ask those conversations. Oh, the Thor and the Hulk fight. What are their thoughts on those kind of things?
Hmm.
You know?
Whereas fucking Frank Miller is just like Batman starts doing cool shit, and then Superman gets told by the government to go, nah, you can't do that. You can't be an independent citizen. Oh, we're gonna have a big fight for the ages here.
Yeah. I mean, DC does do character reflection from big action figure fighting. Like, Kingdom Come is a big example of that.
Hmm. And I do like the Dark Knight Returns. It's just
Yeah.
an easy target.
Yeah. That's Frank before he went off the deep end.
Yeah, Frank Miller has done good things in his life.
There's two different Franks. There's cool
There's
writer.
actually free because I've heard he's like gone on like a huge apology tour and been a decent old man.
He's trying.
Yeah.
He hasn't officially said the words, "I am sorry for writing Holy Terror."
Yeah, he really needs to fucking do that still.
He has said, I regret writing Holy Terror, but he's not apologetic about it, which like as an artist, he can go like, yeah, no, it's cool to like go like, yeah, that was me in a bad place and I stand by my work, but it's also just like, you could disown it, buddy.
Yeah. How much
Annihilus
money are
is
you really
cool.
making after? Oh, go ahead. Fucking Jesus.
I was trying to segue us
Yeah.
back.
Get us out of here. Take us out of this weird zone. The
Good
negative zone.
good episode. And again, this still does have that flavor of this would be a lot better if they could have had like 3 seasons and it wasn't just one of the episodes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, imagine this is a two-parter. You could have really imagine the cliffhanger in the middle of this of Annihilus breaking in and like grabbing a couple of characters.
Or imagine like they know they have 3 seasons, they can do something else. Imagine one of the bugs gets out and goes into space, hinting at annihilation.
Oh, doggy.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But overall, it's cool. It's fun. I also realized in this episode that they kind of made Marvel have current Blue Beetle powers.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Because he's just like, big gun! That's fine.
I am Spaceman.
I am Spaceman. Big gun.
I am Spaceman. I make big gun and sit for blonde woman. He's my self-insert character.
I'm surprised you're not more into Carol Danvers then.
Carol Danvers, like, I want to like her, but something about all the stories I've read about her just have like this slight off-puttingness to them for me. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to put my finger on it. It's just like Carol Danvers is that character where I look at her and I go, I shouldn't have a problem with you, but I do, and I can't figure out what it is.
Yeah. I'll keep trying with new runs. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I read the first couple issues of the new Avengers run, and it just didn't hit for me. But hey, it's hitting for you, so whatever.
Yeah, but I'm also the fucking weirdo who goes like, "Oh fuck yeah, King."
I mean, I think you are Marvel's target demographic then, because at the moment they want everybody to be going, "Oh fuck yeah, King."
No, like they could just go like, "Hey yo, it's Graviton," and I'm going, "Yo, fucking Graviton!"
Oh, Graviton, you heard it here first. He's the next MCU big bad after they write Jonathan Majors out.
You know damn well if I ever start writing the Avengers, I'm making Graviton like a big villain.
You need to stop making so many goddamn promises, because if you ever actually get a job at Marvel, people are going to come at you with so many receipts.
What receipt says this? I will make Spider-Man good. I will make Reed Richards autistic.
That's an order right there.
What?
Making Spider-Man good. That's a pretty tall order right there. You might want to slow down already.
Hey. If anybody can do it, it'd be that. Marvel wouldn't be in the place they're in right now. Oh, God. So, you ready to talk about some news?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of news this week, actually. Total flip from last week.
Oh, news booze?
Yeah, we got some news booze.
Newsy boozy?
Newsin' and boozing.
Newsin' and caboozin'. Are we just turning into fucking... What's he? He was in Biodome. Who is he?
I don't know. I've never seen Biodome.
He's the dude in a Goofy movie who goes like, Leaning Tower of Cheetah.
Oh, I know the guy you're talking about. I know that character at least. I don't know the voice actor's name.
What is his name? What is his name? Could you
Should
Google that? Google that.
I'm gonna look up a Goofy movie on IMDb right now.
Oh man, I hope this is just a regular movie and is no way Goofy. Oh fuck! I love that joke. Yeah?
I'm trying to find it. Hang on. Wait, why don't I... Because Google lets you do this now. You can just put characters, and it'll give you a better look at things. The character's name is Bobby Zimmerski, and he was played by Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore! That's the man.
You thought I was turning into Pauly Shore?
A little bit.
I don't know if I've seen anything else Pauly Shore has been in. I know he was like a name back in the day, but
Yeah, he was also like he was an annoying name. Like people did not like his work. He did a movie with Brendan
oh
Fraser, I think.
oh yeah, that's right. He's the Encino Man guy.
Yeah.
So haven't seen that either.
Hey, guess what? That's our Pauly
News?
Shore segment done.
Hey.
Pauly shored that one right up.
Oh.
Yeah, life's a beach. Hey, guess what?
What?
Union news. Union news.
Okay, I thought we were doing a thing.
I just realized we wouldn't be able to sync up time wise, so I was just like, no, just cut that out.
But yeah, they did it. They did it, everybody. The VFX workers at Marvel Studios unionized. Hooray!
Well, they've unanimously voted in favor of unionization. Now comes the part where they have to actually organize and set up council and like go like, all right, who's taking up they have to now make the union.
Yeah, but they want to. They've decided to do that now,
Yes.
which is a huge step forward.
And it will be with IATSE. Of course, we've talked about them a couple times.
Mm-hmm. It's a big fucking deal. There's no way Disney can really block this unless they want to completely sabotage one of their most important business relationships.
Yep. Yeah. Dope and dope. Good and good.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to see this happening. I'm very happy about the atmosphere in this country right now in general, with just everybody rediscovering what the hell unions are.
Also, hey, hell yeah, UAW, they're striking right now.
Yeah.
United Auto Workers.
Mm-hmm.
I was because the way you said yeah, I was just like, all right, cool. I know that's a union, but I don't know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
They're the people who make cars.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it the people who make cars or the people who fix cars?
Make cars.
Okay. Good on you folks, because I remember you folks got particularly screwed over during the pandemic.
Yep. Hey, guess what? Rob Liefeld has a sense of humor.
He sure does, because he did a homage to his infamous Captain America. Is it Heroes Reborn image?
It was never officially used for Heroes Reborn, but it was during the Heroes Reborn era.
Yeah, it was like an initial, because it wasn't a cover. The infamous Cap image didn't actually feature in any publications. It was just kind of done as like a proof of concept, and it happened to get out on the internet years later.
And it was published in Wizard during like an interview.
He's done and he's done like a homage to it as a variant cover for the upcoming JMS Captain America #1. That is Sam Wilson Captain America in that style.
I'm trying to see if I can get the image so we could get a full one.
I could have sworn there was a full one. Maybe it's in that tweet.
Yeah, I'm looking at the tweet. There it is. Had to get something off my chest.
Yeah. It's nice that the image guys are now getting to a point where people are nostalgic for them, and so they're using that to look back at their old stuff and say, yeah, that was kind of dumb, but here it is again in a new way.
And like, here's the thing. You can tell Rob Liefeld has improved as an artist, and he is purposefully making this look goofy.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't by accident. He's like, no, I am purposely making the anatomy look wrong as a joke.
Mm-hmm. It's nice to see. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I hope, because I don't think he did in the first two. I really hope Rob Liefeld has a cameo in Deadpool 3.
That'd be fun. But here's the thing. If Rob Liefeld has a cameo in Deadpool, you know damn well it's going to be the most like hat on a lamp thing possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, they made a person who can't draw feet joke in Deadpool 2, so that's why I'm like, okay, actually put him in the movie now. I mean, remember, back, like, days before the strike, there were set photos of them filming a scene of Wolverine and Deadpool fighting in front of a destroyed 20th Century Fox logo. So I'm like, if we're getting that meta, we can bring Rob Liefeld in for a scene.
Oh yeah. He just goes like, hold on, wait a second. Calls up, camera cuts into two. On the other screen, you just see Rob Liefeld pick up his phone and go like, "What's up? Hey Rob, this is Wade. Deadpool? Yeah, could you like make me a new power just so I can have something to beat this guy? I it's been years since I created you. I can't do that. What use are you then, Liefeld? You can't even draw Captain America right."
Variant covers?
At least I can say Captain America now.
Man.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We're getting a new Thor Core book team thing. No, it's
Yeah.
Immortal Thor. It's Thor Core.
Yeah, they're doing a revamped version of the Four Core, I'm assuming to fight that fucking Elder God thing in, I believe this is going to be in issue 5 of the book, is what this cover is for. It's some of the fours you'd expect, you know, Jane and Bill are there, but also you got Storm and I'm trying to remember who the other person is. Loki, yes, a Loki four. So some good old Four Core times coming your way. I don't fucking know four. I'm sorry.
I mean, Immortal Thor's been good so far.
Yeah, I know you've been liking it, so I figured you'd want to get a heads up on this.
Yeah. Also, Storm looks pretty dope.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's like some kind of reference or throwback, or they're literally just gonna give her a hammer randomly in the book.
Who knows? But I will be so happy to see Thor and Beta Ray Bill be buddies again.
Yeah.
Because the last time they talked, they were not friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if they'll be buddies in this then. It might be more of like, all right, I'm helping you with this shit because this is serious shit, but after this, we're done kind of a thing.
Yeah. Marvel announces new Moon Knight series, new costume reveal. Look, it's Moon Knight, Vengeance of Moon Knight. It's a new costume.
They're relaunching it with a new #1 because it's Marvel. They do that sometimes in the middle of a run to get sales back up. Yeah. And there's going to be a new costume because Mark Spector is dying. Just that personality, right?
I have no idea. They are leading to something interesting in the book, so we'll see what happens. But it's the same creative team, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. So it is just a relaunch in the middle of the run to get it some more momentum.
Yeah, but there's also something neat of them just going like, oh, yeah, you know, for a guy who travels the night, it'd probably make a lot of sense if his costume was black.
Yeah, but that's what's so.
Yeah, I know that's the joke. I'm making a joke.
Yeah,
I do like the Crescent Moon logo.
Honestly. I think the logo is cool. But I think it would be cooler if it was like a yellow logo on a white costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do like the very bright white inner cape.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool visual trick. I'll be interested to see if that looks really good in the actual interiors.
Yeah, Moon Knight has been just really fucking good as of late. Mm-hmm. You know what this cover reminds me of?
Some kind of Batman something, I'm sure.
Spawn.
Yeah, because he's got like the eye things going.
Yeah. And the chains.
And the big old, the big obtuse slashy weapons.
Yeah. Overall, Moon Knight, good. Cool to see some new things happen.
Yeah.
What else? Marvel confirms Chris Claremont is back writing Wolverine for a new series.
Yep, he is doing a 5-issue mini as part of the 50th anniversary celebration called Madripoor Nights. That is going to be Wolverine, Cap, and Widow teaming up to take care of some bullshit in Madripoor. I'm not entirely clear. I skimmed the articles. I'm not entirely clear if this is set back during the Claremont era or it's set in current continuity or some weird in between point. But you know, they got Chris back to write Wolverine for the character's 50th anniversary, so that's nice because he did a lot of like the early defining Wolverine.
I think it is going to be a flashback story. The
Mm.
miniseries seems Wolverine with Captain America and Black Widow, evoking a 1990s story by Claremont, which the three appeared in an iconic Jim Lee cover and were billed as together again for the first time.
Yeah, I know it's referencing that cover, which is a really iconic cover. I've seen a lot of people recreate that cover with figure photography. But I don't know if that means it's meant to be like in that same time, or if it's just like meant to put you in the mind of that time.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they Marvel's been doing that a lot with flashback minis.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about another one of those next, but I'm not the biggest Claremont fan. I've just not had enough time to check out the old Claremont stuff.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
mean,
know. I might
Claremont made your
skip this. I
girl.
might give it a shot.
Claremont made your girl.
He sure did.
He made
I gotta
magic.
I gotta go back and check that stuff out. It's gotta
Marvel
happen.
announced its new Power Pack series, Louis Simonson.
Yeah, this is also going to be a flashback book set back in the last time the Power Pack were really relevant and beloved when they were still cute little kids. It's not going to be dealing with the current adult Power Pack, which is probably just as well, because I don't know if anybody really cares about that.
I mean,
The only
people
time,
care about the one that's like a lesbian.
yeah, but the last time I saw anybody reference her was in that terrible Deadpool comic.
Gwenpool.
Oh, Gwenpool. He fucking misspeaking and shit.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Deadpool. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're live, everybody. This is a thing that's happening. I don't know if Boingo cares about the Power Pack at all, so I thought I'd throw it in here. I do not give it. I do not give a single solitary shit about the Power Pack, honestly.
Superman villain General Zod getting a solo DC comic series.
Yeah, this is actually kind of fucking crazy because Boingo, how much do you know about Comic Zod?
Is he not like the Donner Zod?
He's sort of like the Donner Zod. They retrofit him a lot to try and be like the Donner Zod. But also, since Rebirth, a lot of shit has happened with him. He is now married to Ursa. They have a son, and they're ruling over a random alien planet out there in the cosmos somewhere.
Oh.
And this book is going to be about that. It's being described as like a twisted Game of Thrones style look at Zod as the ruler of his own planet. And I'm like, cool. Glad somebody remembered that's happening. I don't know if I'm interested to read that or not, though. Because, like most people, I mostly know Zod as fucking Kneel Before Zod.
Yeah.
And this book is even going to be called Kneel Before Zod. So
here's the thing. It would all depend on the writer.
Yeah, and the writer is somebody I've never heard of before. He has a lot of like random DC credits to his name, but nothing significant.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll give the first issue a shot, but I'm not particularly excited for this.
Like, yeah. The covers look cool though.
Yeah.
Alan Moore says he's asked DC to send all of his royalty checks for films and TV based on his work to Black Lives Matter. I don't really feel with the recent films that they have stood by what I assumed is their original principles.
Yeah. Al Moore just showing back up in the news as he tends to every few months, throwing a fit about DC in some way to try and make himself look virtuous, but also just kind of looking like a grumpy old man.
Yeah. I mean, cool. Black Lives Matter. Like, yeah, sure. You didn't specify which one. There's multiple charities under that name. Some of them are not reputable.
And also, since you did, and I would not be surprised if Warner Brothers is just pocketing that.
Yeah.
Especially because of the next thing.
It's a thing. Bill Willingham releases Fables into the public domain.
So, I don't know if we've ever talked about Fables before. Do you know anything about that series?
All I know is the Telltale point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah, I watched a playthrough of the first season of that back in the day, but like that's all I really know. I know Fables was big back when it was like a new comic series because it was part of that initial British invasion Vertigo era.
Really? I thought it was newer, more recent than that.
It might be. I'm not sure. Like I said, it's not something I'm super knowledgeable about, but apparently, and I say apparently because I had to read up on all of this when this shit started going down a few days ago. Bill Willingham made Fables under a creator-owned publishing contract with DC, which basically stated he retained ownership of the intellectual property of all the characters, but DC retained sole publishing rights because they were footing the bill for publishing it and putting out the comic for him back in the day. And ever since then, he has had kind of an on again, off again relationship with DC, especially because a lot of the people who talked him into signing that contract to do Fables are no longer with the company, have been fired or have left at some point in the last 10, 15 years. And he feels that the new people who are handling that kind of stuff, talking with legacy creators about these older books and keeping them alive and reprinted and whatnot, don't really have his best interests in mind. And he's been trying to leverage various things over the years. He's even considered suing Warner Brothers to try and get the rights to publish Fables so that he can go in his own direction with it. But ultimately, he decided it. I believe the way he worded it was, it is now fallen into the wrong hands after being in the right hands for so many years. And the only real recourse I have is to release it into everyone's hands. Because as the owner of the intellectual property, he believes he has the right to put it in the public domain. And that led to the next thing in our news lineup this week.
Yeah. DC issues official statement on Fable comic series entering public domain, hints at a lawsuit.
Basically, what they have said, they put out a very PRE, very, very like sterile public statement that said they believe they retain the rights to the Fables comics. Those original comics, since they have the sole publishing rights to them, that's still theirs. You can't go and mess with those. And Bill Willingham is still saying, yeah, but those versions of the characters, anybody can do whatever they want with now, and they can put the Fables name on it. And basically what it looks like here is, if you want to do your own Fables sequel fan fiction, you can label that as official now. You just can't put the Fables logo that DC has a registered trademark to it on.
Yeah, just make up a new logo.
Yeah. It's, on the one hand, I understand DC doing this because you got to protect your IPs and whatnot, and they probably have made a lot of money off of reprinting Fables over the years. But also, like, it comes off as extremely cunty to do that right after this comes out.
Yeah, but there's also like Neil Gaiman, I follow him on social medias. When that news broke out, he very bluntly said, like, yeah, this feels very much like a publicity thing from Bill, because those characters were already technically public domain.
Yeah.
And like, he's just going like, it's a way for him to stick it to DC, not a way. It's not beneficial for the people. It's a screw you, DC.
Yeah, he's kind of pulling an Alan Moore. He's doing it a little better than I think Alan Moore has ever done it, but it's technically in that same vein.
Yeah. So like, I understand not wanting like all the things. It still feels a little like, I don't think anyone here is a good guy.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know how much this is really going to hurt DC, because I don't know how many people who haven't already read Fables that are going to be clamoring to read it now and trying to get it for free from their local library or whatever. I mean, there's a copy of Fables Volume 3 hardcover edition that's like $6 at my Ollie's right now. So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a weird fucky thing.
Hey, and some fucking cool news.
Yeah.
TMNT/Daredevil crossover will happen, Kevin Eastman says.
Now, this quote, it was a little overhyped. He is not saying they have something in the
Yeah, yeah,
works
yeah.
right now. He is saying he believes it is an inevitability. It has to happen. He has an idea for it in his head because, in actuality, the whole reason the Turtles are a Daredevil parody, Daredevil has always been his favorite superhero.
I
And
would
he's not
love to
just talking
see.
about the Frank Miller stuff. He grew up back during like the original Stanley and onward days.
I would love to hear Kevin's thoughts on recent Daredevil runs.
Mhm. So he's got a pitch, he's got an idea on his head. It's just a matter of the right things coming together. And he's even said, if I ever feel like I'm getting up there and it's just not going to happen within my lifetime, I'll just put out my idea for free. I don't fucking care.
That's yeah, dude, hype.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, even though Viacom is the owner of the TMNT IP right now, they still listen to Eastman a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
He is heavily involved in almost everything.
yeah.
Like he gets say on the collectibles, on the current comics. I'm sure he had some sort of consultant role on Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah. But you know what? Seeing TMNT and Daredevil in a book together, that will just be oh.
Yeah, we just got to get Viacom and Disney or IDW and Marvel to play nice for a few days.
I can see IDW and Marvel playing nice and then just kind of going like, "Hey, this will just make us money. Don't worry about it, Marvel. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. Don't worry about it, Big Papa company owner."
yeah. Hasn't IDW done like artist edition black and white reprints of old Marvel stuff?
Of
I feel like
Transformers
that's
and GI
happened.
Joe things, I think.
I could have sworn they did that for like a four book or something.
I don't know.
I might be misremembering. No, this is a while ago.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Hellboy's getting a holiday special.
Yeah, Mike Mignola is returning to Hellboy to do Hellboy and the Mystery of the Yule Cat, I think it's called.
Yeah. The
Yeah, it's
no, the Yule Cat. It's just called the Yule Cat.
yeah. So that's gonna be dropping late November, early December. Boingo, as a Hellboy Mignola fan, how excited are you about that?
I'll pick it up. I'll try and read it
Yeah.
because it just seems like it's another like Hellboy dealing with a mythical creature story. You know?
Mhm. This can take place anywhere in the Hellboy story, which seems to be a lot of what Mignola does these days. He's
Oh
like,
no.
I did the final end of Hellboy story, and now whenever I come back to him, it's just going to be like a nebulous continuity, Legends of the Big Fist Guy comic kind of a thing.
Cult movie Deathstalker revived as comic series from Slash and Volt
Yeah.
Comics.
So this made me pretty happy. I'm not gonna lie. Boingo, do you even know what Deathstalker is?
No. What is this?
Deathstalker
Frank, what's the
Frazetta
Frazetta?
looking.
Yeah.
It's not him. It is literally a live action Conan ripoff that frickin' Roger Corman did back in the day.
Hmm.
There are six of these movies he made super cheap under I forget which one of his companies it is, but one of the ones he had. And it's kind of like a beloved so bad it's good old movie of just like what the hell is even going on in this weird barbarian thing. Very very exploitative, very goofy, and
Very MST3K.
yeah, I think one of them might have actually been on MST3K. I found out about them because James Rolfe did a video on them back in the day. A couple of them have been featured on episodes of Best of the Worst, and just generally, if you know about like old bad cinema on the internet, you probably know about this. And there's actually a Kickstarter that's underway for a modern Deathstalker remake. And this comic is part of the whole promotional thing for that. They're gonna be putting it out under this indie label that I've honestly never heard of, but it's being written by Tim freaking Seeley. So I kind of feel like I have to read it
I've
because
heard
I
of Volt Comics. I'm clicking the link to real quick so we can see it. Hold on.
Okay. But yeah, Tim Seeley, who was a bit player at DC for years, writing Deathstalker. What? I have to know what that's like.
Vault Comics. What has Vault Comics done?
Hmm.
Oh, they've done The Nasty.
Ooh.
They have a couple. They have a retro throwback book. Deep Roots, Giga.
I recognize that one with the pink logo. What's that?
Oh, Bonding, a love story about people and their parasites.
Hmm. I haven't read that, but I know I've seen that on a stand somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah. So like these are solid guys, and this book will probably have decent production behind it, basically.
Yeah. I mean, they have several barbarian books in their lineup, so
Yeah. So if this ends up on the site, I will be reading it. I've got to know what it's like. I've never watched. I'll admit I've never watched any of the Deathstalker movies all the way through, but I've seen a lot of the like infamous clips and stuff.
all right. Yep. Marvel Fighting Armor X-Force Deadpool figure.
Hey, remember when these were a thing?
Yeah.
Remember when like two of these were getting announced a week? Yeah, they're doing a X-Force Colors version of the Deadpool one, and it's a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. It is literally just the same thing but in X-Force Colors, and it looks fine.
Yeah, but X-Force colors are an easy repaint for any Deadpool figure.
Oh yeah, I do adore the X-Force color scheme. I really hope we get an updated version of X-Force Deadpool and Marvel Legends at some point soon.
We got Green Goblin.
Yeah, so this leaked just yesterday. We've talked a couple of times about how, like, it's long been rumored there was going to be a second wave of No Way Home figures. That was going to be that Spider-Man free pack, but with unmasked heads, and you were going to get Goblin and a Build-A-Figure Doc Ock and an MJ. And it looks like Doc Ock is his own separate deluxe release. And the rumor is now stating that we don't know what the Build-A-Figure is, and Doc Ock is also a deluxe release. And I gotta say, this Goblin looks fan-freaking-tastic. Like, I like it better than the SH Figure Arts. I might pick this up, even though I'm constantly like, oh, I don't do MCU. This just looks too good to pass up, man.
Oh yeah. You know what? The Build-A-Figure could be
What could it be?
Lizard.
Could be Lizard, could be Sandman.
Could be Sandman.
But either way, we're probably gonna find out before too long, because I'm willing to bet this and a Transformers thing that leaked just the other day is gonna be officially revealed at a little thing that's going down on Friday. But we'll talk more
Yeah.
about that in a minute.
We also got Paternia talking about some Lucha Libre Marvel figures.
Yeah, this is just the next wave of their retail 5-inch line. Of course, they just did all the X-Men 97 retro figures, and the next thing they're doing is Marvel characters as Lucha Libre characters, and I kind of fucking love that.
Yeah, it's a simple
It's just
thing.
a goofy what if thing but thing toy concept, and I won't lie, I'm a little tempted to pick up Thanos because of his frickin' Infinity Girdle.
Yeah, that is pure like you have seen. I have seen so many wrestlers with that kind of. It's a good look. Spider-Man
Yeah.
looks neat. Captain America, I think, is like genuinely one of the better ones.
Yeah, he's got a solid look to him.
They're cool. They're fun. They're neat.
Yeah, they'll be a good thing for little Timmy to get in his stocking at Christmas this year.
McFarlane, DC, Multiverse, Wonder Woman, Flashpoint, First Look, Gold Label, Target exclusive.
Hey, look, it's the one McFarlane thing we can talk about this week, because everything else was either stupid exclusives that really have nothing new to them, or Aquaman movie figures that we're not going to talk about because that's technically promoting the Aquaman movie, and the Aquaman movie is striked content. So sorry. But look, it's the Wonder Woman from the alternate timeline that wants to kill Aquaman.
Yeah. Very dark lips. Did she have that dark of lips in the comic?
I think so. I don't know. I
Those
really don't
those
care for
are
this
lips. Those
design.
those are lips of a very disappointed wine ant.
Kinda, yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't care for this design. I thought that whole element of Flashpoint was really stupid. Looks like a decent figure of it, but like I ain't fucking buying this shit.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Loyal subjects, TMNT, IDW Shredder.
Yeah, so bit of an update about the loyal subject stuff actually. There's been some minor QC issues, but apparently the turtles were actually really good. Like above the normal expectation of loyal subjects, which is crap that falls apart right out of the box. A lot of people really like the IDW's loyal subjects turtles, and that does have me kicking myself about not picking them up for a little bit. But that also means like, oh shit, loyal subjects might actually be someone to pay attention to now, which is why we're talking about this IDW Shredder that is the first figure of that design and looks pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, it even comes with the feudal Japanese head.
Yeah, I do like it quite a bit. If I can ever find the turtles for a decent price again, I would definitely get them and this guy to go with them.
Yeah. Looks neat.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We got a schedule for Hasbro Pulse Con.
Yeah, because if you haven't heard, we are going to be doing a PulseCon live reaction and watch along stream with Tim Shields of Zaya Enterprise America and Wyatt of It's Only Magic on Friday, starting at 10 a.m. EST. We're going to be going live a half hour before the show so we can do some introductions and predictions. And Hasbro just on Friday put out the actual schedule and whatnot for the event, listing off all the exclusives and the order the panels are going to be going in. And guess what? Marvel Legends is up first, so Boingo, better be up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Marvel, Star Wars, Magic, Transformers, JoJo, Power Rangers, and then D&D.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm guessing it's gonna be about 4 or 5 hours
I could see that.
because it starts at 11, and I think they would want it to be like something that either you've taken the day off work for and you get done with it around the time your family's getting home, or you're watching it at work and it gets done about the time it's time for you to head home. Just my thought process.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
yeah, we're watching it.
yeah.
Watch four white men talk about plastic.
Yeah, 4 white men are gonna hoot and holler about plastic collectibles live right here on youtube.com/@modularmedia. Make sure you're subscribed and you got those notifications on so you know right when we go live.
Yo, prediction one.
Hmm?
They're gonna start doing model kits.
That would be a fucking shock. That would be a genuine shock.
Why would it be a shock? Look at the fucking logo.
That's true.
That's a runner.
But I think it's just like, oh, do you make toys by making plastic molds, runners, that kind of a thing? They know people who are tuning in are going to be knowledgeable a little bit of the process, or at least they hope.
Yeah. Or maybe they're gonna more fully integrate the model kits that they've been doing with Flame Toys and Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Or YOLO Park doing those figure kits for Rise of the Beasts. Could see some promotion of those. Man, that's the other thing with this. I really hope we see some kind of promotion of the Energon comic universe since that's kicking off next month.
Oh yeah. When's the final issue of Void Rivals?
I don't know if Void Rivals has a final issue. I think it's an ongoing.
Oh, I could have sworn it said Blanca 4.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I would
We
if
will
it
double
is,
check later.
the final issue might be sometime next month to lead into like I don't know, fucking Duke or some shit.
Yeah. Hey, guess what?
Comics?
Comics time, baby. Hey,
Hey,
are you ready to get read? Goblin.
I did not read this.
I know you did, but I did.
Okay, well tell me all about it.
Normie's trying to save his friend, but he's also going like, yeah, but I'm an Osborn, and I'm starting to think maybe I should just give in to the violence.
Oh no! Don't do that, buddy
So
boy.
he's hanging out with Miles, and like he starts cracking jokes, and Miles just goes like, "No, you tried to kill me. You have your banter privileges revoked right now."
That's a good Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's good. Great Miles in this book. Like great Miles is like older teenager mentor figure, but he's not really ready to be a mentor kind of character.
Yeah, it's like they're in the Big Brother program.
Yeah. So like they're trying to Normie's trying to get his friend, save his friend, and Miles just basically goes like, "Hey, look, I don't want you. You're not in a condition where you can fight bad guys. Just tell me where they'll be, and I'll go save them." And Normie goes like, "All right, fine, they're over here." And Miles goes to that location and goes like, "My spider sense is not ringing. Fuck, you led me on a wild goose chase."
Ooh.
And Normie's going in, storming the castle, and he starts going like, "Yo, fuck you! I'm a big bad dude with a symbiote." And the symbiote's going like, "Yo, this relationship's kind of toxic, and I'm hurting you. I don't like it. I'm gonna go on that zombie dude." And Normie's like, "No, you're part of me." And they start fucking going berserk and just killing everybody. And his friend gets loose. He runs and goes find Norman Osborn getting suited up as the Golden Goblin and goes like, "Hey, I'm a friend of your grandson. Thing is fucked." It's fun. I did not expect this series to go as long as it has, and it's good. It's solid.
Yeah, it's pretty that's pretty neat, especially considering like there's also a whole series about his mom losing her shit right now.
Oh, there's a reference to that because basically apparently his mom and Norman have a deal that that one person has to be in New York at a time. Like they can't both be off doing business deals,
Hmm.
but they both were off doing business deals, and they're like pissed at each other and themselves, and they're going like, "All right, when the first one to us to get to New York, just call the other to update the other." It's like, yeah, and she starts turning into Mercy,
Oh
Misery,
dear.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, that's neat. Hey, guess what? I read a lot more comics than you did this week.
Oh boy, what else is new, muchacho?
I read Superman Lost.
How's that going?
Basically, the beginning of it is adorable because uh, a big thing called out for the Justice League out in space, and Batman's like he wasn't called, so he's just coming up to the watchtower, and the Flash is there, and he goes like, "Hey, how's he doing?" And the Flash goes like, "Same as he has been. He's just standing there." And Bruce goes like, "Hey, we'll give him time. We'll let him heal." And it's like, yeah, no, that's Batman. He's like kind and compassionate.
Yeah.
And he starts talking to Superman, and Superman just goes like, "You are a long forgotten memory. Like it has been years since I talked to you. It's like you are almost like you are a very old friend." And Bruce goes like, "But I'm still your friend." And Superman goes, "Yeah, of course." And it's just like,
Eh.
oh, that gets to your heart.
This writer fucking gets it.
But we're back on the outer rim planet. Superman's dealing with shit. The sun's about to explode, so he's going to all these different like fucked up dystopias and going like, "Hey, you need to listen to me. We need to get off planet. Everything's going to shit. This is a new Krypton, and it's kind of triggering for me." And they all go like, "Hey, Superman, you finally did something and united all of us. We are all united in saying, fuck you, get off our planet." And so basically Superman's like, "Fuck, whatever. Like, God, fuck this. Fuck. And like a variety of things happens. And the Green Lantern he's been dealing with starts going like, "No, you're not. No, don't leave me. I don't want to be alone anymore." And Superman goes like, "Oh shit. I thought because you had a Green Lantern ring that you were like Hal or John, you know? Like you like it chose you." It's like, "No, you just found a fucking weapon. Because this is the old one that has the yellow impurity." So he beats her by fucking punching her with his cape. Because it has the yellow spot.
Yeah.
And so basically Superman's like, "Fuck it. Fuck all this shit." He gets on the rocket and he's fucking heading out.
Just
And
Jimmy Neutron's the fuck out of there.
yeah, and basically it's just like, hey, you've lost a lot of your powers because you spent years on a dying red sun. You might not survive things. It's just like, hey, whatever, I'm Superman, I can survive anything. And then as he's flying through a black hole, an old ass man in a Superman costume goes like, "No, you'll doom us all!" and grabs his ankle. And that's just like, is that old man Superman? I don't know. Probably. This is something I'm gonna implore you to reread when it's in trade.
I hope there's a back issues episode about this. I don't know if Sal's reading it, but this seems like it would be a really good back issues episode. Just like all the shit that's gonna make Ethan go like, "That's not how that works," and Ben go, "What?"
Oh yeah, there's a whole country where their entire voting process is just looking at their phones. Wild dystopias.
With all the fucking biting criticism of a fucking 2012 Nickelodeon show.
Children of the Vault. I read issue 2.
Hey, is that still interesting?
Yeah, pretty much the entire issue is Cable and Bishop finding all their weapons while the children in the vault are like having philosophical discussions about what they're doing and why they're doing it and what the whole mind virus is.
Nice, because I did want to read this. I just had to make a time choice.
Yeah. Basically there's two factions in the vault. One is like, hey, these people are like our fucking ancient ancestors. It's wrong to kill like an ape, so it's wrong to kill them. Let's give them a chance to like meet us in the sunshine. Not in a Superman way. I'll explain in a moment. And the other one's just like, no, fuck them. They're shit. Fuck them. Fuck you. Kill them. And the mind virus. Okay, remember how last issue they have a little mind virus in their brain?
Yep.
In about 6 months, that will take hold in the entirety of the human population and force them to genetically alter to become post-humanity like the children of the vault.
Oh dear.
There is only 1% of the population who will survive.
Yeah, that's not going to be great.
No. And it's just Cable and Bishop just getting guns, just going like, oh, fuck, we gotta kill him. We gotta kill him. It's fun.
Yeah, I can picture Bishop being like, "Ah, fuck, we gotta kill him," and Cable just being like, "Shame."
Yeah, no, Bishop is like, ah, fuck. Because he's like, he has to break into X Mansion to get his cache of guns. And he's just like, this place is like hollowed ground to me because I've heard about them in the slums growing up. And it's like, ah. It's like, it's a shame. And it's just like, the entire time Cable's just like, you dumb fucks. You fucked with the wrong time traveler, motherfucker. Literally, the person they're like interrogating goes like, we are the future. And Cable just looks at him and goes like, weird, because I'm from the future and you ain't there.
That's a perfect fucking Cable moment.
It's so good. It is pure, hey, do you want dumb anti-hero X-Men nonsense from the 90s? Just bitch slapping a bunch of fucking weirdo wackadoos? Here you go.
Nice.
Let's see. We both read Avengers Incorporated.
Yeah, this was quite the treat, I must say, because I was not expecting. I was kind of reluctantly reading it because I didn't like Ewing's frickin' Wasp book, but something about the way he writes her here really clicks for me.
I think the problem with that is I think this Wasp was just setting up this.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I have a really cool idea for a Wasp book, but I need to retcon like a couple things to make it really fit.
And they're like, sure, Al, whatever.
Cool, let me retcon this and just push this stuff slightly to the left and slightly to the right. All right, cool, now it fits.
And make the Jarvis Lounge a thing. Because we need a home base for her in this story.
Yeah. And the mystery's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's some good solid little moments of like, oh man, what the fuck's going on? And it's interesting the setup we're in with an old villain essentially taking on the role of the Vision.
Yeah. Because it's Whirlwind. He's being brain controlled by Vic Savage.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, what the fuck's going to happen here, dude?
Yeah.
Also, Luke Cage is essentially playing the role of M to Janet's James Bond, and I love that.
It's fun. It's cute. And it's like you can do a lot of things with the setup. It's really good.
Hmm.
Oh man, it's solid. Read of Avengers Incorporated.
Yeah, there's not a lot to like say about it, but it is a solid read.
This is going to be one of those books that in like 10 years is going to be beloved the same way Hawkeye is.
Yeah,
I can just see it.
I can see this being like a cult favorite, like Fractions Hawkeye, or like freaking. Have you ever read AI Avengers?
No.
I know a lot of people who really love that book, but also like none of the big name comic people ever recommend it, so it kind of stays in obscurity.
But I can totally see this being like popular.
Mhm.
X-Men Red number 15. We get some Fisher King backstory.
Ooh, do tell.
Basically it's just him growing up in the prisons with no powers and everyone going like, haha, you have no powers, fuckhead. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm badass though. And they like try to assassinate someone, and they're like, oh hey, we're holding you and your wife for treason. We also have your two kids here because we'll just kill them. We'll just do that. And Fisher King's like, no. And his wife just immediately goes like, no, I'll take the blame. I'll take the punishment. And so they kill her. And Fisher King's just like, what? My wife. And the people who are committing the punishment are just like, all right, cool, we're done. And his kids just look up at him and just go like, weakling. And it's just like, what the fuck you, Rocco.
Oh, damn.
um
That's how fucked up place they got there.
yeah. And there's a war effort going on. There's tactics, there's battles. They're doing things. Storm fights a giant kaiju. Fisher King realizes like why he was having those visions of his flashbacks and goes like, no, there's a seed in the kaiju, but it's too late. The seed takes root. It's a portal. The rest of the Araco fucking people are coming through. What are they gonna do?
Oh shit, isn't that like Apocalypse's kids and shit?
Yeah, it's Apocalypse's kids
Oh
and
boy.
the rest of the immortal 99 Knights.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen? We both read Green Lantern number 3.
This was fucking great.
Oh,
This was my favorite DC book of the week. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I
right
love
now.
Sinestro being a little shit.
Yeah. It is just Sinestro back on his bullshit while Hal is desperately trying to get his life back together. And he finds out Sinestro is back and he's like, God damn it, I don't have time for this, but I also know I'm the only person who can fucking deal with this guy, so alright.
Yeah.
Also, Hal and Kilowog playing fucking T-ball with a bunch of kids is adorable.
Oh, it's adorable. And also Hal cheating the game a little bit to let the guy who's getting bullied get a home run.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
It's good, solid superhero stuff that genuinely feels like somebody who really gets Green Lantern is at the helm, which we kind of haven't had since John's. I mean, Morrison's run was neat, but it didn't feel like a perfect modern Green Lantern book. It felt like Morrison going, remember when Green Lantern was fucking weird and space shit? Ugh.
Yeah. And
This
sometimes
is-
you need to do fucking weird space shit.
Yeah, but this feels like back to the Hal Jordan character piece that the Johns run did.
Yeah. And the backup is the backup. It's fine.
Yeah, it's happening.
We both read X-Force.
This was also really good.
It is them in Russia dealing with shit.
Yeah, and it's just super entertaining seeing fucking I'm not taking anyone's bullshit anymore. I'm in charge of this team Domino.
Yeah. I mean, Sage is still like Sage, and Domino
Yeah.
still like trusts her.
But Domino's like the field leader, and Sage is the gal in the chair.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
also
Pietro.
fucking sad porn for Piotr.
Sadness for Pietro. I like how the author's like going like, no, I need to finish the story. If I don't, I'll kill him, and I don't want to do that. And his brother's just like, I don't fucking give a shit.
Mm-hmm. It's also just really fucked up thinking about like that's the eldest brother of the fan, like putting him through all this shit. Also, neither of them have any idea where Ileana is right now.
Yeah, and Peter's probably going like, where the fuck is Ileana? Where the fuck is my little sister?
There was just a massive mutant genocide. Is my sister okay?
I can't move.
And the elder brother, whose name I'm not remembering, is just like, shut the fuck up. We have shit to do. We can find her later.
Yeah,
Actually,
man.
I don't even know if he cares about her.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Good book. Good X-Force.
Yeah.
We both read Incredible Hulk #4.
It was also really good.
The Hulk runs into Man-Thing, and Man-Thing goes like, hey, some shit's really fucked, bro.
Mm-hmm. I like that we're pivoting a little. We're not doing the same kind of horror stuff we had in the first 3 issues. This is a slightly different brand of like that classic trope of a monster using visions of somebody you care about to drag you into the abyss, and that's cool to see through this lens. And we're also like just progressing the story a little more. There's a really cool moment where Banner is like, "You don't fucking get this at all, little girl. You need to leave me alone," and tries to ditch her. And she finds out there's a fucking manhunt on for her. It is like, man, this is just a terrible situation that's spiraling in the most entertaining way.
Oh, yeah. And this is really cool. It's a lot of setup. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you ever wanted to see the Hulk fucking shred Man-Thing to ribbons, here it's finally rendered in artist form for you.
Yeah. Man-Thing was also really cool in this.
Yeah.
A lot of good monsters. A lot of good Marvel monsters this week.
I like that Man-Thing's not like a mysterious spoogity boogity. He shows up, he swallows Hulk, takes him to a fucking metaphysical realm, and then the guy inside Man-Thing is just like, "Hey Bruce, oh
Hey,
shit's real bad, man. I need your help."
look, I had to bring you into like my little pocket dimension so I could talk to you because Man-King doesn't have vocal cords.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fair enough, my dude. We both read World's Finest, Teen Titans.
So I want to like this issue. I think there's solid stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
but and it's weird because it's like I know Mark Waid goes to conventions all the fucking time, but this feels like it's written by somebody who hasn't been to a convention in like 10 years.
Yeah.
It's very just like all the jokes you would expect somebody to make on YouTube back in the mid 2010s.
It's not. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's also like from the perspective of a person who is a very popular personality being hounded by people, and I think that's a cool thing to see.
I like all the stuff they do with Bumblebee in this, where like she just initially has a fucking panic attack when they get swarmed by fans because she's like, no, no, nobody's fucking taking my mask off. And then she gets a creeper encounter and is rightfully pissed about it.
Yep. Yeah. It's good. It's not great.
Yeah.
The Robin
also,
stuff was great.
Oh yeah, the ongoing like tension of Robin's life is really interesting to see. Like him and Speedy having this constant competition for who's the favorite white boy on the team, and both of them actually have kind of shitty home lives with their surrogate fathers.
But like one is neglect, one is no, they're both neglect. No, one is neglect, one is micromanagement.
Mm-hmm.
You know. It's good, it's solid.
Yeah. It's like Wade gets these characters. He's just a little out of touch on the social commentary.
Yeah.
And that being said, like I did still enjoy the fucking bit where Donna Troy goes to her own panel.
And they start going like, "Are you a manic pixie dream girl?"
And she's like, I don't even know what that means.
I love because this also feels like it's a reference to the fucking one story where she like marries the author self-insert.
Mm-hmm. Also, fucking when she's being carried off, I forget who it is, but one of the other Titans looks at Aqualad and is like, "Shouldn't you go with her? Isn't she your girlfriend?" And he's like, "She's Wonder Girl. She can handle herself."
Yeah.
It's like, that yes, but also that spells disaster for this relationship if that's your attitude, Butto.
Yeah, but overall pretty good. I read Venom, number 25.
Would you like to regale us with the tale of Eddie Brock's himbo adventures?
Okay. Eddie broke the time machine and now they're in the Cretaceous period.
Mm-hmm.
And Doom has a fun monologue because he's like, okay, you know how there's that whole like the butterfly effect thing? See, that's kind of true, but not in its entirety. You have to kill a lot of fucking butterflies to have it really have any impact. You know, he's kind of like making you can make minor changes in the past and it doesn't do anything. You have to make big changes to fuck with anything. And that's what the dichotomy is. It's just like Doom going like, please, Eddie, stop. This isn't doing what you want. And Eddie's just going like, I don't fucking care. I'm trying shit. So they go into the past. They deal with the Venom T-Rex.
From Old Man Logan?
From something.
I'm pretty sure it's an Old Man Logan.
Well, as they're in the Cretaceous period, there's a Venom T-Rex. It may be from like Edge of Venomverse or something like that, you know. They fight it for a little bit. It melts and turns into the big bad dude, and it's just like, it's a ploy. They break the time machine again. They go to a different time period. They show up in World War II. It's hilarious because Doom just immediately goes like, "Oh shit, we're in World War II. I'm fucking killing Nazis." Bow, 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 bow.
Doom be like, fuck the timeline, shoot a Nazi.
Fucking hilarious. And like Eddie's just like, oh hey, cool, symbiote dude, come here. I need your help. And he starts reading what the symbiote dude has been going through, and it's like, oh shit, you were supposed to kill Hitler. You were supposed to kill Hitler way earlier than anything, and you would have been able to do it. I fucked up the timeline. I fucked up the timeline. And Doom just goes like, no, you fucking didn't, you dipshit. The timeline acted the way it is because we came to this point. It's a recursive loop, you dumbass. What? Look, I don't want to... Alright, fuck you.
Have you not... Is this Back to the Future or is this Bill and Ted?
It is recursive. It is time travel rules. You were supposed to travel back in time to do something until you break enough things, and then it creates a new timeline. So, like, there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
And if you go out of that wiggle room enough, you just, boop, new timeline. Okay. And then they travel to early Marvel Comics. So...
the 60s.
Yeah, it's the 60s era of Marvel Comics.
I'm sorry, 15 years ago.
Yeah, just about. So Doom is in front of the Latvian embassy, and it's just like, I shouldn't, but I gotta. I have to talk to young me. I have to. It's too good. And Eddie Brock runs into Peter Parker.
Yep, that went viral, so I saw that the other day.
And Eddie's just like, yo, I'm trying to tell you you've inspired me to be a better person without telling you inspired me to be a better person. And Peter's just like, stay right there. I'm gonna get someone from a hospital to help you out, buddy. And
yeah, because it's like a Peter that doesn't even have any idea who Eddie Brock is yet.
No, and it's just like, it's hilarious. Because Eddie's just going like, I hated Parker. And then I saw that he was actually a good guy. And it made me feel like shit. And now I'm trying to be a good guy like him, but I also realize I put him on too much of a pedestal. He's just a normal dude, and it's not fair. And I ate brains, and I remember what that tastes like.
Now
And
I just want to see. You know that scene in the 40-year-old virgin where they're talking to Steve Carell and it's like you're putting the pussy on a pedestal. I want that, but with like a Venom supporting character talking to Eddie, going, "You're putting the Parker on a pedestal."
and Doom talks to young Doom, and he goes, and like the thing he says is like, "God, was I ever that young?" And it's just young, egomaniac, maniacal Doom, just going like, "I am Doom. I don't fail. Fuck you." And old Doom going like, "Motherfucker, we have failed so many times that we are better at it." I'm like, we're like legitimately, he's just like seeing like his young self and just going like, "Oh, I know exactly what to fucking say to this kid. Oh, have you fused magic and science yet? Hmm. Oh, have you saved your mother from hell yet?" And his younger self is going like, "Fuck, you've done that? Fuck." And then he goes like, "You know what? Could you point me in the direction of Richards? I think he could help me more." And that's when young Doom's just like, "Fuck you, fuck you." Older Doom knows the buttons. It's fucking great. And he's just like, "Yeah, fuck you, young version of me. I'll erase your memories." But this was good. It was cathartic to remember the growth I've been through and all that kind of stuff. And he just finds Eddie and it's like, "All right, I'm tired of bebopping, scatting around the timeline. We're just gonna go talk to Kang." "Why?" "Because you're friends with Kang, apparently." And they go talk to Kang, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Eddie? See, I'm not friends with you yet. I'm not this version of you. I'm not friends with. It's a different version of you, but still, you're Eddie." They have a little fight, and Kang's just like, "All right, cool, whatever." Here's a Fantastic Four time sled that Doctor Doom compares to a minivan. It's fucking. And Eddie goes off and does his own thing, and Doom and Kang have like a conversation about theoretical time travel physics. And Kang starts going like, "See, it's really quite complicated." And he does this whole diagram, and Doom's like, "Yeah, I fucking know that shit. I thought you were gonna explain something new to me, not fucking 1+1 is 2. Fuck you." And he goes like, "Hey, by the way, you took a little bit of the symbiote as payment for Eddie getting the time sled. What are you gonna use it for?" And he just holds it up maniacally and goes like, "Oh, I have plans for this little rascal." Now, if you don't know, Rascal's the name of the symbiote Normie's been using in Red Goblin.
Hmm.
Yeah. Overall, Venom's fucking great. Venom fun.
Nice.
I also read Ghost Rider.
Is he still riding them ghosts? Is
This
he
is
still
this,
putting eyes in his belt and awakening his soul and connecting his life to the future?
here's the thing. This issue isn't about Ghost Rider. It's about his goth girlfriend.
Oh boy.
Giving some backstory to her because we're 18 issues in. It's time to explain her a little bit. She grew up as a spoopy child, seeing ghosts and demons everywhere. And because no one believed her, she grew up like, dark and edgy. And she runs into some fucking assholes who worship Mephisto. And like now she's starting to see those visions again, and she's like, "Fuck, the cult of Mephisto's back at it." So they're gonna have to deal with that. But it's neat to see her backstory and origin and everything.
Yeah.
And there's some cute moments. Like she's walking into a gas station, and Johnny goes like, "Hey, could you get me a coffee?" And she goes like, "Yeah, unleaded or diesel."
That's funny.
Yeah, it's fun. I read Negaduck.
How's that going for you?
It's fun cartoon villain trying to enact fun cartoon villain plans.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I like Darkwing Duck. I didn't expect a sequel, a spinoff. I mean, It's good. If you like Darkwing Duck, you'll like this.
It must be selling well if they're able to do that.
Yeah. We both read Batman and Robin.
Oh boy, what a perfectly serviceable comic book that keeps that trademark alive.
Yeah, it's fine. I liked it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just very paint by numbers for Bruce and Damian.
Yeah. It also it feels like it's paint by numbers, but it also feels like they're going to do more things with it.
Mm-hmm. It feels like it's the shit you're used. It's the setup I'm used to with them.
Yeah.
It is Bruce goes, Damien, you should have a normal life. You should be a good little boy and say your prayers and eat your vegetables. And Damien's going, no, Dad, I was raised from birth to be a fucking super assassin, and I chose to be a superhero. I chose you over Mom, so just let me be a fucking super person. I can make your life way easier if you just let me help you. No, that wouldn't be a healthy relationship.
And here's the thing, Bruce is also saying, like, no, I want you to help me. I just want you to also experience regular life.
Mm-hmm.
And this, at least.
But the thing is, like, Damien doesn't give a shit about that, and he's kind of right to, because regular life kind of sucks.
Yes,
and also,
but
like,
it's also
he has a life in the superhero community. He has friends and a partner now. So, like,
I mean, there's also the aspect of Bruce's looks at all the Robins as, hey, I'm trying to give you what I didn't have growing up. Like, closure and that kind of stuff. And he sees Damien as like, oh, you just didn't get to have a normal life like I did. I want to make sure you had a chance at it.
Mm-hmm. And it's just I'm kind of sick of seeing the constant back and forth of Bruce wants that and Damien goes, well, I don't want that, so you need to stop offering it to me, Dad. We've had this conversation a million times. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually pretty realistic that they did that, because anybody who has a fucking relationship with their parents knows that, like, you're going to be arguing about the same things until they're in the ground.
Yeah. And here's the thing, this feels less of like, you have to do this, and just more like, hey, I really want you to try. This is a very, like, Bruce is like, hey, can you give it a try?
Mm-hmm. Also, like, how did Damien get the fucking Robin mobile into the brownstone without Bruce noticing?
Same way that Bruce changes the tire on the Batmobile.
Fair enough.
Also, the setup for the arc seems fun, of Bats and Robins attacking them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to read the next issue, but I'm not entirely against it. It just depends on what else is out that week and how much time I have.
And here's the thing, I'm not tired of the Bruce Damien dynamic. I haven't read super ton of it, so I'm enjoying it.
That's fair. That's entirely fair, actually.
We both read Astonishing Iceman.
This was pretty okay.
This was pretty good. It's Iceman going back to his hateful town.
Yeah, and he's got really supportive parents, or a really supportive mom. His dad's dead, which is just weird for me to read as a movie fan.
Yeah.
Because remember the infamous scene from X2? Bobby, have you ever just tried not being a mutant?
I think that, like, here's the thing. I think that would have happened in this, but she's also like, you know what? I've learned and I've grown and I accept my mutant son.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of the town is just like, no, your son's a menace.
And he just saves the town anyway. It's just like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the relationship with Bobby and Romeo.
Yeah. You know, I could see this being a regular issue of X-Men at any other point in continuity. I could see, like, just fucking Jean and Cyclops and Wolverine hanging out in the background going like, oh, why does he take that shit from them? And being like, well, you don't understand. Bobby's got a special relationship with his team. Having that extra commentary level to it. But this is a solo series, so that's not there. And it still works fine.
It works really good.
Mm-hmm. Also, I liked the villain because he reminded me of a Scooby-Doo monster.
Yeah. Oh, there's something cool at the very end. Because I've been pointing out that Fall of X is Marvel going, hey, you fuckheads who think that the X-Men don't work in the Marvel universe. you're wrong. Here's why. One of the Orcus people is dissecting an Inhuman and going like, hey, once we're done with the mutants, we're going to have to deal with you guys anyway. And it's just like, yeah, that's what fascists do.
Yeah, that was, oh boy.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's good shit. Also, there was an Orcus mention in the Hulk book.
Yeah, they were there was a news report about what's going on.
I think it's cool. Even the books that aren't directly dealing with the fall of X are at least mentioning it.
Mm-hmm. Also, I've been flipping through Ghost Rider because you made it sound kind of interesting this week. You didn't tell me Doctor Strange shows up.
Oh yeah, he's like one of the people who tries to help her, and he's
Yeah.
like arrogant Strange era. So he's just like, all right, I don't fucking time to deal with a teenager, so I'm just gonna put like a fucking spider in you to like
Yeah.
get the possession shit out of you. And she like starts hurting, and she's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And Strange is like, that could have gone better.
Yeah. I hope now there's a fucking crossover with the current Strange book where he's just like, sorry, I was a dick for a long time, but I'm better now because my wife made me better. And fucking Johnny's just like, I can relate.
And Goth Girlfriend just goes like, yeah, that doesn't stop you from being an asshole back then. Yeah.
But yeah,
She's that
fine.
Iceman's good. Daredevil #1 by Saladin Ahmed.
Holy shit. In 22 pages, Saladin Ahmad redeemed himself. Because I have been an outspoken, like, I don't like this guy. I thought his Miss Marvel run sucked. I didn't even look at his Spider-Man because of that. No, this is good shit. I would dare say this is a slightly better start than the Zdarsky run had. It's building directly off of that. It's not trying to do its own thing.
I love Father Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they just was like, yo, what if we just have him be a priest?
Yeah, let's just do that for a while and see where it goes. And it's a really interesting character dynamic. Some of the conversations he has with the elder priest remind me of scenes from the Netflix show. And I don't know what it is, but something about the way this artist draws him, he kind of looks like Hugbeast. So I keep reading his lines in Hugbeast's voice, and it works.
And there's just a lot of good moments of like he does not remember being Matt Murdock.
No, it's like slowly coming back to him, but it's a mystery to him as well.
But he also doesn't want to remember because every time he does, he goes like, "I remember a devil.
Mm-hmm.
Dear God, save me."
And at the same time, this orphanage he's running is barely holding on. And the only reason it's holding on is because Elektra Daredevil is illicitly funding it.
And I love that whole conversation of just like Elektra's going like, "Oh, you're starting to remember. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing." And he's like, God put me there for a reason. And it's irresponsible of me to just abandon it because I remember something.
Mm-hmm.
And Elektra's like, I don't understand, but I will let you do your own thing. And like, I can just totally see Elektra being like, yeah, one day the status quo will return and we'll be together again. But you need to work through this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Also, for a minute, Elektra gets possessed by the literal devil.
Oh, the way that was drawn, though.
Yeah, it looked like something out of a Miyazaki film.
Of just like the demon's head on top of Elektra, just like puppeting it while also Elektra's just fighting shit. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. And it all kind of culminates in eventually Matt's memories come back to him, and he's like, all right, I'm going to put the costume on and do shit again, but I'm also still going to be the priest.
I don't think he has all of his memories. I think he has it was like, I need to be something. I need to fight this off. Let me be Daredevil.
Yeah. Also, like the cops are coming after him for some reason I don't remember.
Probably because there's a couple of fuckheads who were trying to hurt one of the girls who's hiding out there.
Oh yeah, the guy was like insisting that he's her pimp.
No, Matt's insisting, hey, we don't deal with pimps here. He's like, I'm not a pimp. She's my girl. Isn't that right, babe? It's just like,
Yeah, that's right. That's what that was.
and it's like, oh, it's good. I love.
Also, again, kudos to this artist. Draws kids that actually fucking look like kids instead of
Yeah.
weird monstrosity abominations.
Another thing I love just how it's written. Matt's like memories returning, elements returning, the sensations returning. Of just like I can see and I can taste and I don't know why. And it's like interesting. And also when he sees the possessed Electra, I see like it's like I see the devil, and like it's in dear God and it's frightening and all this kind of stuff. But it does not smell like fire and brimstone. It smells like a love lost, and it's just like it's good shit.
Yeah, this run is already off to a fantastic start. I am very impressed. Like what what intern at Marvel sold their actual soul to the literal devil to keep Daredevil this good for this long? Because there basically hasn't been a shit Daredevil book since Mark Waid's run.
Which
Uh,
I here's the thing: there's been solid runs ever since Frank Miller.
Yeah, there's been solid runs, there were periods where Daredevil was really hot and where it was just kind of good. And then Shadowland happened, and Shadowland was dog shit. And then Mark Waid came in after Shadowland, and since then, every run after him has been great. Like his run was fantastic, Charles Soule's run was fantastic, Zdarsky's run was fantastic, and this run is off to a fantastic start.
Read Daredevil. Daredevil good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Daredevil's
we
built different.
we both read Miles Morales Spider Man.
Yeah. This book's still rumbling and tumbling along. Some interesting stuff this issue with bringing in the former Samson to
Give me
actually
therapy.
give Miles some fucking therapy.
And like it works. It's like Miles is like, yo, that's giving me some good tools to help me with. And it's like, you know what? That's all I need. That's all I want for you, Miles. Well,
Yeah.
Spider Man.
I'd be interested to know how much of it is actual real therapy techniques.
I do know breathing as a centering technique is a real thing.
Okay.
And I do know compartment like the way it's not compartmentalization.
The way he
It's
tells him to deal with his spider sense, you mean?
yeah, it's the hey, you are being your trauma is making every issue seem like a right now issue and activating your fight or flight. You need to start actively looking at the issues and saying, is this a right now problem or is this a problem to think about? You know, that kind of stuff. And then he has to fight a speedster.
Yeah, I like that we're sort of retrofitting Hightail into a villain for him because I'd never heard of her before except as like oh yeah, and that character exists in the Spider-Man oeuvre. And turns out she's actually a fairly entertaining character to watch a spider fight. So I wouldn't mind her popping up more in future Miles
I
comics.
do like the back and forth they had of just like, oh, you're Spanish, you're Hispanic too. Where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm from Dominican. I'm Dominican, and Miles is just like, our version of that is better. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's fun. It's solid, and eventually it results in, hey, are you reading Blade right now? You probably should be. Here's Blade and his cute daughter. Please read Blade.
And meet Bloodline.
Hmm.
Bloodline is adorable at the end of that.
Yeah, she is fucking tiny. I didn't realize she was that young.
She isn't. That's just badly drawn.
Oh, okay.
She's Miles's age.
Because the way it's drawn, the perspective it's at, she looks like she's 13.
No, she's about Miles's age.
All right.
And I have a feeling the reason she's being introduced to give some relationship drama.
Oh boy. I can't wait for her and Starling to meet next issue.
Here's the thing. I think it's going to be the hint at drama, and they're just going to be friends.
Or or it might be like she has a crush on him and like halfway through the book Blade realizes but also realizes Miles is oblivious and knows Miles has a girlfriend and he's just like calm down. Calm down. All right, not that one.
Daughter, call. But Dad, why is she Bobby Hill? You Red Crusader.
Yeah, this book came out of fucking nowhere. I didn't know this was happening. I just saw the cover and I was like, I'll give this a shot. This looks like a fucking knight and some Kirby crackle. I can get down with that. Let's see what this is about. And what it is, this book is about a literal Knights Templar from the fucking Crusades, our actual historical Crusades, finding a tunnel to a bunch of Satanists performing a sacrifice, and he's like, "You blasphemers! How dare you!" And he starts fucking them up, and they're like, "No, you're interrupting the ritual. We don't know what's going to happen now." And then he gets transported to the demon realm, and he immediately kills a bunch of fucking goblins that are trying to like rob his body, and they had been picking on another creature that looks like a goblin, but I think it's supposed to be something else. I don't know. I don't know my fantasy creatures that well. And he's like, "All right, you fucking demon. I know they were picking on you, so tell me what they wanted with you before I kill you." And he's like, they just wanted to eat me, dude. Please don't kill me. I just want to go home." And he's like, I'll do you one better. You fucking show me around. You take me to the nearest um human settlement and I won't kill you. And it's like, all right, we're friends now. And it's this goofy little frog guy, bipedal frog guy is just like, all right, welcome to the Beastlands. I'm going to show you around. I'm going to take you to the nearest human settlement. And at the same time, after they walk off, one of the goblins like rises from the dead and drains the life out of one of the barely alive horses that they had just next to him, and is like, all right, I'm a fucking spooky sorcerer guy. This Templar means business. He's going to be a problem. I got to go after him. And that's pretty much the book. As we see there, the Templar and the little frog boy are heading off to find the whatever humans exist in this realm, and they've got another scary goblin man chasing after them. And we see the cover for the next issue. It's not going to take them long to find humans because it looks like the Templars fighting with the humans in the next issue. So I want to know what's up with that. I'm digging this book. I'm digging its vibe. There's a very simple to the point writing style, and the art is pretty decent for an indie book from a company I've never heard of. So I'm gonna keep going with this for at least another issue. What is it? Matt Imenos and Andrea Lucan. Good work, fellas.
I think
Or
I've heard of
ladies.
Matt Eminos. I think he's done something.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up later.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized the fucking little frog boy's on the cover there. You can see him
Yeah.
peeking over Crusader's leg. Because you don't get the Templar's name at all in the issue, so I assume we're just supposed to call him Crusader, like he's the Mandalorian.
I'm getting Mando vibes. I'm getting Doomslayer vibes.
Yeah, I actually just remembered. I was gonna go like blab about this in a couple of Discord servers and be like, "Hey, people should read this. It's just fucking medieval. What if the Mandalorian was a literal Knights Templar?"
It's fun. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I may give this a shot because that sounds like a fun goof time.
Yeah, I'd recommend it.
We both read Werewolf by Night.
So this was way better than it had any right to be.
This makes me want to see an ongoing with them too.
Mm-hmm. It was clearly made to capitalize on the success of the special from last year.
Oh, you can tell with the art direction they did.
Oh yeah, but the fact that they did the art direction the way they did, like, shows a clear creative initiative here.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't just feel like a cash grab. It feels like this writer and artist genuinely like these characters and are trying to do something here.
It also feels like the only color they used was orange.
Yeah, a lot of hues of orange, and I love the sections where it fucking Elsa is the only one in color.
Yeah, it's good, it's neat. I love how Jack
Yeah, Jack Russell.
Jack is just going like, I am a tormented werewolf man, and I am sad, and I am poetic, and Elsa's going like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm. She says bugger like a billion times in this book, which was hilarious. And also I love how they bump into each other, and they're like, ah, you, yeah, oh fuck, oh, I thought this was gonna be a different kind of date. Now I got to deal with my ex. Okay, all right, that kind of dynamic is always fun.
But
And I
they're also
love,
by the end of it, they're going like, oh man, I remember why we fell in love.
yeah, the bit at the end where they're like, we could fuck right now, but that would be a problem, so let's just not.
Maybe later.
Hmm.
Because it isn't like, we'll never see each other again. It's like, next time I'll bring clippers. Because I don't like the
Yeah.
beard and long hair on you. Yeah, it's like cute.
Yeah, it's a solid little one shot. I agree with you. If this ends up being like one of those things where, oh, it sold really well, now it's going to be an ongoing, I would give the ongoing a shot because this really impressed me.
I also just, there's a lot of just fun moments of less like, Jack is just going like, "Oh, she is beauty. She is so much things, and I remember the touch of her lips and all this kind of stuff." And
And
she
then
just,
she's just like screaming and slashing at vampires.
oh yeah, but also like when they first bump into each other, he's just like, "Oh my god, she's beautiful and wonderful, and I loved her once," and all this kind of stuff. And she just is just thinking, "He smells like dog." It's just really good. Also, just really good. Also, hey, you gotta have a lot of chutzpah to be a redhead wearing orange.
Mhm.
And
That's a
that
good
is the
one.
last book we read. Hey, we read comics.
We sure did. That was a good way to cap it off there, Budinsky.
Budinsky. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this comic talk and news talk and Avengers talk. Hey, Vac,
Hey.
you wanna tell the people where they can find you?
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm fairly proud of quite often. So if you would like to check them out, you can do that at the Vacuuminator here on YouTube. I also make TikTok clips of my older videos. You can find those on TikTok at the underscore Vacuuminator. And that username is also where you can find my figure photography that goes up every day on the Instagram app. So if you search at the underscore Vacuuminator, that is where it will be. I am also on Blue Sky, kind of promoting my content and tweeting out random thoughts and things throughout the day. That's at thevacuuminator.bsky.social. And I have a Tumblr where I do the Tumblr version of that. That's thevacuuminator.tumblr.com.
Hey, howdy. I'm Boingo Writer. I do a variety of content. I'm on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I'm on Twitch at twitch.tv/Boingo Writer. I am also on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Boingo_Writer. I am on Blue Sky at Boingo_Writer.bsky.social. No, BoingoWriter.bsky.social. Boingo_Writer at VT.social on Mastodon. I'm on Tumblr. Search for Boingo Writer. Hey, guess what? This has been a podcast. Enjoy it. We also have several other podcasts, including Components, where we hang around, fuck around, and maybe find out. We just talk, interview people every once in a while. We also have Analytical Fanboys, a monthly media cast where one member makes the other people watch a piece of media. The next piece of media we're talking about is SSSS, Gridman, and Dynazenon. Dynazenon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We also have another podcast called Twit, starring Vac over here. Say hello, Vac.
Hello, Vac.
And Buster, where they talk about that week in Tokusatsu, give or take a franchise or two.
Yeah.
There's also the final podcast we have in our roundup. Tell the people about SMP.
SMP stands for Saturday Morning Panels. It is Modular Media's Transformers and G.I. Joe podcast that is actually going to be a week late this month. Normally, we put it out on the third Thursday of every month. We're doing the fourth Thursday this month because, if we did it the third Thursday this month, that would be the day before PulseCon, so everything we said would be rendered inert literally within 24 hours. And it'll be more fun for me and Cody to just get to discuss the reveals on that next Thursday. And also Cody's just been extremely busy this month. That's why he's not been on the last two episodes of Components. So we haven't been able to get together for SMP, but we have already booked a time to record it this coming Saturday. So you can look forward to us discussing all the PulseCon reveals that relate to G.I. Joe and Transformers, as well as a classic issue of the Marvel G.I. Joe comic book and whatever G.I. Joe and Transformers toys we picked up in the last month.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hey, everybody. This has been part of Modular Media, this YouTube channel that you could like, comment, and subscribe to. Tell us what you thought about this episode. Tell us what you think about any episode we do. Tell us how we fucked up so we can do better.
Yeah.
And engage.
All feedback is appreciated. Engage with the algorithm, no matter how you do it.
Yep. Do you have anything else you'd like to say, Vac?
I'm gonna make a wild prediction here for PulseCon. I'm gonna go ahead and throw one out right now.
Right.
They got the DC license.
Enough said.